out of the blue, I had never thought of this question before, but he was pressing the idea that you just made, and that is, without Rome's authority, you have no way of knowing. There's no way to even use Scripture. Now, you and I both know that long before the Council of Carthage, the early church writers are quoting Scripture right, left, and center as the final word in theological controversy. The church has already been dealing with Sabellianism and modalism and Arianism and everything else before there's been this quote-unquote official canon. So that argument really doesn't work. But here was the question that I asked Jerry that resulted in something called dead air, which means everything just goes silent. To the point where the lady who was running the program was like, so let's take a commercial break now, and then we came back and it was still pretty much silent. Here was the question that I asked Jerry. I said, how, in your perspective, how did the believing Jewish person know that Isaiah and 2 Chronicles were Scripture 50 years before Christ? Ever thought about that? How would a believing Jewish person following the one true God of Israel, how did they know that Isaiah and 2 Chronicles were Scripture 50 years before Christ? Now, Jerry knew this is a tough question for a Roman Catholic. You don't have a magisterium to answer that question at that point in time. Jesus plainly held men accountable to what was in Scripture. Have you not read what God spoke to you, saying, and then he quotes from Scripture. There's no argumentation between Jesus and his Jewish opponents, even the Sadducees, regarding what is and what is not Scripture. And he didn't come up with this. I did have Roman Catholics later come up with, he can't go Jewish magisterium because he knows that the Jewish magisterium never accepted what Trent accepted as canonical Scripture. So then you'd have a contradiction between two allegedly infallible sources. The only answer I ever came up that was ever given to me, which he did not come up with, was through the use of the Urim and the Thummim. On the breastplate of the high priest, where you could cast lots before the Lord, so you go to the temple and you could cast lots. Is Isaiah Scripture? Go. And is 2 Chronicles Scripture? Go. And that would be how you do it. It's a next to impossible question to answer, given the presupposition that you need this external categorical statement of some type of infallible source, because that's not how God did it with the Old Testament. Yeah. And then we have Jesus, who then functions on the basis of what the result, whatever the process was that God used, Jesus felt it was good enough because he could hold men accountable to the Scriptures. And that question is one that even after, what is that now, 25 years? Really? Oh, that's scary. That was a long time ago. Even after all this time, remains absolutely valid, and I still haven't gotten a better answer.